Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Giselle Talk Show. I ain't got my theme song on. Hey guys, we are going to talk about all right. Welcome guys to the Giselle Talk Show. I'm your host Giselle. How is everybody doing today? All right. Listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Yes, we're gonna get into some tea today. I don't even have my papers. Oops. But yes, afternoon. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are live via speaker.com for the podcast. So if you guys want to join us there, and this episode will be uploaded to the YouTube channel today also. So you'll be able to run it back, all that good stuff. But listen, I wanted to come to you guys today because I really wanted to speak on the incident that happened over the weekend or of the week, whenever it was, at the Rolling Loud Festival the other day with rapper DaBaby. Now, I really had to sit and listen to what he said, which was very controversial. I do have my thoughts. I've heard a lot of what a lot of people had to say about it. I watched several YouTube videos about it. I have read some stuff about it via the Shade Room, and I also see that a couple of his endorsers are dropping or disconnecting with him. They've dropped him off. Hey, babe. They've dropped him off of their campaign. So he's losing endorsements because of this incident. Well, I know you guys probably seen or heard what took place. He had a strong opinion about the way he felt about the people that were attending his show. Now, I was going to get a little piece of the cut and put it on here, but being that I'm doing my podcast and my podcast is, everywhere, I don't want any, copyright. I don't want any of those problems. So I didn't get the piece from the show. But what he basically said was, he was like, put your cell phones in the air. If you did not show up tonight with HIV, AIDS, or any of those deadly ass diseases that'll kill you within 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks or something like that, or a week or two. And then he said, put your cell phones in the air if your pussy smell like water. Put your cell phones in the air if you ain't in the parking lot sucking dick outside after the show or some shit like that. And a lot of the LGBT community, a lot of my community, took offense to it because they felt like he was aiming at the community, like he was speaking to the community, to the LGBT community as a whole, saying they're the ones outside sucking dick and in the parking lot or whatever, and they're the ones with the HIV AIDS. Now, after I watched this video for about 50 times, just so I can get a clear assessment and understanding of what he said, he did not mention the LGBT community. He did not mention us in general. Like, he didn't say he did say, you know, to you, the guys outside sucking dick in the parking lot, you know, put your cell phones in the air if you ain't one of them niggas, if you ain't out, or whatever, something of the sort of that way, or whatever. And I think it was more so of just like what T.I. was saying. I think it was more so of him just saying of those who is not living their truth, that's fronting like something that they're not, or they might be there. And I mean, at first, when I heard it, I took highly offense to it. But then after I listened to it, I was like, well, none of that was regarding me. I mean, he wasn't speaking directly to a trans woman, to a lesbian woman, to, you know, or anything like that. He was saying about, you know, if you a nigga and you outside sucking dick in the parking lot. You have those. And a lot of people don't respect people like that. They don't respect that whole down low. And I spoke on this before on my podcast. I've spoke about this and the whole down low thing that they do, the whole DL brother and blah, blah, this. I don't agree with that shit. I'm not for it. You know what I'm saying? But to each is their own. I'm not going to judge someone for it because, you know, you have to make your own decisions in life. But I get where he was coming from. But he nowhere did he actually state anything negative towards the gay community. And then when what he said about HIV and AIDS, I felt like that was very insensitive to the people that are living with HIV, AIDS, and fighting for their life every day. That was very insensitive, and it was an immature and an inappropriate statement to make as a public figure. Yes, I do agree with that. He was very much so wrong for that. But a lot of the LGBT community and gays are jumping on it. Now, I know it kind of got pushed that way once T.I. had made his statement, and T.I. said, if Lil Nas X can get up there and be prideful or do his thing, and then the baby should be able to pop his shit. However, so I felt like that was two different scenarios. Like, I don't understand how you're putting them two together saying that that's fine, because what Lil Nas X is doing is just living his truth, being his true, authentic self. What the baby was doing was stirring up controversy. Lil Nas X is not going around trying to belittle or put someone down or make them feel any type of way for any circumstances that they may have faced in life. But the baby, on the other hand, like, you're basically, you know, trying to look down on a certain population of people. And I just feel like that was insensitive. It was uncalled for. It was wrong. It was very much so wrong. But it did take me to really, really listen to what he was saying to understand that he was not speaking insensitive to the LGBT community. He was speaking of those guys that's DL, that's running with the homeboys and swearing that they the hardest nigga on the block and sucking dick on the low. I don't respect them type of niggas. There's a lot of people out there that do not respect people like that, that don't agree with that type of shit. I don't agree with that type of shit. I feel like it's 2021. We have to start normalizing shit in order for it to be normal. You know what I'm saying? It may not be understanding now even when this is another thing. And a lot, you know, we have to close our mouth sometimes, open our ears, block our own judgment, our own personal beliefs, and just listen to what someone is saying. Because even with T.I., you know, they slandered and went at him and was like, what he was saying was wrong. Like, he's saying, he said, I don't have a problem with Lil Nas X. I feel like he do his thing. It's not for me. I wouldn't personally sit up and watch it or listen to it because it's just not something that's my flavor. Boom. That's totally understandable. Everything ain't for everybody. But where the problem was, where he said, and this is what people took as a problem, because he said, I wouldn't let my kids watch it, but, you know, do your thing. To each is their own. Do your thing. Now, once he kept talking, if you stop the video right there when he said, I wouldn't let my kids watch it, then you didn't get the full understanding of what he was saying. Because I was going to stop it there. But then I said, you know what? No. Let me listen to what this man is saying, because this is a very, very, very intelligent black man. This ain't somebody that's ignorant and stupid. This is a very intelligent black man. So let me listen to what he got to say. And what he finished up and said was, I wouldn't let my kids watch it, but that's just like the WAP video. I didn't let my kids watch that. And that's when I got the full understanding. I said, okay, so it's because it's highly sexual. It has nothing to do with it being a gay man singing this music. It has nothing to do with it has everything to do with a naked shower scene and whatever else that, contracted or, conspired in that video. But it nowhere did he say, he stated his support for gays. He said, I don't have a problem with somebody, living their truth. I don't have a problem with what you're doing in your bedroom. That shit don't even bother me. Like, that ain't even my business, which is a point that I have been trying to make for years. Okay, that's a point that I have been trying to make for so many years. It's like, why? I don't understand why does it bother someone so much with what someone else does in the privacy of their own home? I never understood that. That always baffled me. Like, I wouldn't be sitting up thinking about what this woman is doing with her man, because that woman don't excite me. That's not my thing. Now, I might see a gay couple and think, oh, well, I wonder who the top and who the bottom, blah, blah, because that's my thing. That might excite me. But when you're concerned with what someone do in their bedroom and they're gay, trans, whatever they may be, then I question your sexuality. I question you. Because it makes me feel, what I know from studying psychology is, only thing that really bothers you is what you identify with. When you identify with something, especially something that you don't want to identify with, that you're fighting to hide or to refrain from, then you have a big problem with that if you see someone else doing it, especially if you see someone happy doing what you want to do. A lot of people just need to learn, live your truth. Live your truth. It's a whole new day. It's a whole new day and time. Things have changed. Things have really, really changed. But I think we really, really have to listen. We have to listen to what people are saying without being biased, without already having our own opinion or feeling or saying, just ready to respond. Sometimes it takes just sitting and listening, because I had to sit and listen. I had to marinate on this. I couldn't go right to social media. I couldn't go right to my podcast, which I was I was on the Shade Room and all of that. So I was, responding with the stuff that I was seeing. But then it was like, let me go and find this full video and look at it. Look at this performance and hear what he was saying and see what, And then that's when I went to piecing it together, and I was like, well, he doesn't say, fuck you LGBT, fuck you gays, I don't fuck with y'all, I don't fuck with nobody that's gay, I don't fuck, and I'm not making an excuse, because I seen someone had said that and was like, it's still gonna be those out there that's gonna try to make excuses for him, that's gonna try to, but even when he came back with his video in response to everything that's going on, he even said, nowhere in there did I say anything about the LGBT community. I ain't say nothing about my gay fans. He said, homie in the front row had on his crop top. We was dancing and the whole night, like everything was good. I partied all night with my fans, my gay fans, all of them. He was like, I was just making a statement. And I don't feel like what he said was so wrong. What I feel like he was wrong about was being insensitive to the HIV and AIDS community. That he was very much so wrong about and should be held accountable for. But to keep going and saying his homophobic rant and blah, blah, I didn't see it as a homophobic rant. Some people just don't. And I was stressing and going back and forth with another individual about this as well, and was like, because he was saying something like, oh, well, people will, he just expressing the way every man feels towards a gay. Towards gays. And I'm like, well, that's not true, because I have a family full of men and they don't feel that way. They respect everybody for who they are. Not who they want them to be, but who they actually are presenting themselves as. They respect them all. And they was like, well, no, they might respect you and in your face be that way, but trust me. And I'm like, no, I'm not trusting you because you're dead ass wrong. I have a family full of men that respect me and respect everybody in the in the LGBT community and every other community that exists. We weren't brought up, we weren't raised that way. We weren't raised to be insensitive to others, to be racist to others, to be discriminative to others. Like, we weren't raised that way. So that's not in us. And that's what I was explaining to this young man. I'm like, no, I've met plenty of men that does not feel the way that you are saying. And what made it so bad was because this was coming from a gay black man. It was coming from a gay black man. So that just made it 10 times worse. Like, are you kidding me? Like, sometimes it can be your own. They can be right amongst you in your community and can be the problem. And it's crazy. But my opinion and my feelings are, I don't feel like the baby was aiming at the LGBT plus community. I don't feel like he said anything insensitive to the LGBT community about anything. He was wrong with his statement that he made about HIV and AIDS individuals. He was wrong about that. That's that. But to say this guy is homophobic, he's this and that and that and this, I don't agree with any of that. So I'm just not for it. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, correct me. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Speak to me and let me know. No, you're actually wrong, because he did. Maybe it's a piece or something that I missed. Maybe it's something that I didn't see. But what I seen was someone expressing their opinion. Freedom of speech, people. One thing I know is, and I say this all the time, we have become too sensitive. We have become way too sensitive to people's opinions. Someone's opinion of you does not validate you, does not define you, describe you, or anything. So I don't understand, how could you make a person so powerful that you would care about their personal opinion? I can care less. I can honestly care less. I only spoke on this because I felt like it was a lot going on with it and we were being misled. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of false information that was being put out and we're being misled. A lot of mixed communication that we just weren't understanding. And it takes time. You have to sit and listen to what someone is saying. Unbiased, no judgment, and listen. That's what I did. And I totally, okay, I get it. This is his opinion. Now, he's wrong. He shouldn't have been speaking like that way, because you never know. It's women, it's children, it's all types of people that are living with AIDS and HIV. All types of people from all different walks of life. So maybe he doesn't fully understand that, but I don't feel like he was speaking to the LGBT community. I don't feel like he was speaking to the gays at all. I don't feel like that. Like I said, I could be absolutely wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. Let me know I'm wrong. Make me understand. Educate me. But one thing that I do know and I do understand, and I think is that we have to back off of, is this cancel culture that's going around. Like, we be so quick to cancel somebody and don't even have to know the full basis of anything. We don't have to know the full basis of the situation at all, and we'll just be so quick to boom, oh, he's canceled. We ain't fucking with him. I seen someone doing it, and it was like, I'm a hard down. Everybody know the baby is an asshole. Everybody know he's an ass. He's been that since day one. The man is, you see, I mean, if you follow the podcast, you see the picture that I got up of him. He's in his goddamn diaper. Like, that's how he got his little buzz. People started noticing him. The fucking rapper in the pamper, the baby. You know? But I feel like we have to stop this whole cancel culture, especially when it's not called for, you know? And I feel like in this situation, it's just definitely not called for, because a lot of the people that was expressing their opinion didn't even listen to what the man said. They heard nothing that came out of his mouth but everything that everyone else was saying. The man, the DJ even was like, yeah, because a lot of you niggas is starting to look a little suspect. Or a lot of you niggas be acting sus. A lot of niggas do. Like, what's wrong with them saying that? I don't understand. I'm lost. I'm lost where we got to this level of someone cannot express their opinion. He wasn't bashing no one besides these DL bottom boys. Like, right, Sparkle, I'm the same way. He was being very insensitive. He definitely was not being homophobic at all, because he didn't say anything about, people will twist words, you know what I'm saying? They'll twist the words around so they can feel like they're right with what they're saying or with their point. But that don't make it right what they're saying. And a lot of people have been saying a lot and have been wrong. They've dropped this man from campaigns and stuff and endorsements because they feel like he had a homophobic rant. I'm missing the point, because I didn't hear a homophobic rant. I didn't hear anywhere. That's like saying, I have so many ways I could put this in of understanding, and it's wrecking my brain because I don't understand how people don't get it, how they're not understanding it. I feel like it was towards DL men. People just be ready to be mad instead of looking at it. Right. Thank you. And that's what I said. You have to sometimes sit and listen to things without an opinion already, without a biased opinion already, or without taking sides or feeling like, oh, I know he finna say some shit, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's not that. Just sit and listen to what the person is saying. And like you said, just like I said, it was very insensitive to the HIV and AIDS community, but it was nothing directed towards the LGBT plus community at all. He was speaking of the DL men. I'm sorry, there's no down low in LGBTQIA+. There's no D there, because we want everyone to live in their truth and be who they are, authentically. I agree. He was very insensitive to those who may be living with HIV and AIDS. He also mentioned those with STDs. Right. He also mentioned those with STDs. Very ignorant to me. Right. And it was very ignorant. I felt very, very ignorant. Hey, babe, hey. It was very, very ignorant. It was insensitive. It was uncalled for, inappropriate. I didn't feel like it was necessary at all. None of the statement that he said was. But it was his personal opinion, and I feel like it was, when you're a public figure, you should handle yourself in a certain type of fashion, and certain things you shouldn't, say. But to say he was having a homophobic rant and, dropping him from campaigns for that is, I feel like, is wrong. Drop him because he was insensitive to those who are living with STDs and HIV and AIDS. Say it's because of that. Don't say that it's because of, LGBT. And that's what I'm trying to inbox and tell a lot of my LGBT people who have large platforms that are speaking on it. Please look further into it and listen to what's being said, because I don't think that's happening. I don't think we're listening to what's being actually said. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to lock up my phone. This show, you're nothing but the true, babe. Thank you so much, lad. I love you too. Thank you for viewing. Definitely unnecessary. Yeah, hopefully his manager or team spoke with him. I'm sure they did, because he came back and he put up a video on his page where he was speaking about it. And on the video, he even spoke and said, he wasn't speaking about anyone in the LGBT community. He was not speaking to his gay fans at all. He was like, I partied with them all night. He was like, I love everybody that support me. I support anybody that supports me. Blah, blah. And I'm like, with today's time, the way everything is set up, like, that a large mass of LGBT people are the ones that's going to make these purchases, just as well as a large mass of white people are going to make these purchases. So you tread lightly, you know what I'm saying? And why would you want to ruin, say some shit that could possibly cost you fans, sales, money, residuals, you being able to support your family, take care of your children, all of that. Like, I mean, he was wrong. He was dead wrong, but he was not homophobic at all. I mean, because a lot of people was like, I don't understand how they feel this way, and they wear all these brands, all this Gucci and Versace and this, and all of those are gay men and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, a lot of people, they have a strong feeling. Some people have a strong feeling. But a lot of these rappers and stuff, their stylists are gay. Like, it's not 1993 anymore. It really isn't. It's not 1993. Times have changed. We have to stop being so quick to judge, to jump to judgment, and already, have an opinion, a formed opinion about a situation. Instead, we have to listen, give a person a chance, and then voice our opinion. And it ain't like, I know he's not really checking for our opinion, but still, it is what it is. I just feel like we got to be careful with our words. The tongue is a very powerful muscle. We got to be careful with our words. And that goes for all of us, him and all of us. But to try and someone said this to me, and I was like, yep, surely. But this was before I understood everything. And they said, y'all going to fuck around and ruin another black man's career over some bullshit. And I'm like, yep, surely. You got to be careful with your words, blah, 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 and all of this. But after I listened and understood, no. And sometimes it takes, you got to sleep on some shit. I told y'all that before. I'm the type of person, I have to sleep on it and then come and then I'll address it. Because if I address it right when I'm hostile about it, I'm going to have a one-sided opinion. I'm going to feel my way and no one's going to be able to tell me different. And that's not fair, nor is it right. So I know, me personally, I have to sleep on shit. I have to let it marinate and get a full understanding and then handle it. That's that. But listen, guys, I really, really want to thank you guys for tuning in. I know this isn't a long show today, only like a half hour. I'm going to get back in the jig of things so we can keep it going and all that good stuff there. I love you guys. Y'all always support me with any and everything that I do. And I fucks with y'all because of that. Like, y'all, my team. You know how you got a team. Y'all my team. Y'all my riders, and I love y'all for that. You know. Thank you so much, love. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. And remember to, like I said, don't always go into a situation with your own formed opinion. Listen, let it marinate, then address it. Love you guys. Have a great day. Have a wonderful week. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in to the Giselle Talk Show.